I'm Clay Souza. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and you are watching 808 with Clay at Clay Souza Official, our Instagram channel, where we talk about photography. We talk about the three major pillars of photography, which are lighting, composition, and posing. Always remembering that posing goes hand in hand with directing. If you can direct, you can pose, and vice versa. Okay, and we also discuss a little bit about the business of photography also. And tonight we have a very exciting topic. We're going to talk about what are the things that you must have in 2022 to guarantee success to your business. Whatever success means to you, we're going to go through this. So last week live, it's already on Instagram and on our YouTube channel. You can watch it over there. But tonight's a brand new topic. So last week we talked about things that we need to have done, how to control environments, and what does it mean controlling without being overpowering. So how we do this in our business, and there's a lot of good information there. If you have time, go back and watch that live from last week. So this week we're going to talk about attracting new clients for 2022 and have a clear plan on how to make it all happen. Okay, so thank you for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm not going to go through questions tonight because we have a lot to talk about. So it's going to be a lot of me talking, and I want you guys to interact. If you have questions, please ask questions as we go. And let's get into the topic. The topic is like attracting new clients in 2022. One thing that we have to realize that our lives change from 2019 now, right? We don't really know what norm is or anymore, or what norm is going to be in the future. Maybe this is what it's going to be, okay? But we don't know yet. What we know is that we had a crisis in 2019, 2020. In 2021, things got better because things got closer to normal, what we know as normal. And at least here for us by Clay in our business, we were extremely busy in 2021. And I'm predicting that 2022 is going to be even busier than 2021 because things are falling into place now. Things are becoming more normal. And guess what? People want those memories, right? People are thirsty. People want you to capture the memories, and you need to be ready. And when I say you need to be ready, you need to take advantage of the moment. When I say take advantage, I'm not talking taking advantage in a bad way. I'm talking about being ready for success, because success doesn't happen just like out of the blue. You have to be prepared. And what I want to give you guys today is a 6 or 7 bullet points of things that you have to have lined up for this year 2022. That's going to be crucial for you because I have some numbers here that I want to run you by. 20% of the businesses, new business, fail on the first year. So that's 20%. That's a high number on the first year they fail. So 45% fail on the first 5 years, okay? And 65% will fail on the first 10 years. We're going strong on 7 years now. This is our 7th to 8th year here. So, but we always adapting, we always changing, we always look at the market and changing a little bit here and there. And we trying to cover as many as the things that we need to get done to be successful, okay? On Monday, I talked about controlling environments to make your sessions more successful. And what I mean by controlling, I don't mean by controlling by being overpowered or being rigid. It's just trying to predict what can go wrong and addressing those issues before they happen. This is crucial. This makes a photo shoot goes much smoother. A wedding day goes much smoother It's a very good live. There's a lot of really good information there. If you have time, go back and rewatch that live, because there's a lot of good information there. And tonight we're going to talk about attracting new clients. So we're looking at all of this, all those new business that open, and all the opportunities that are going to be created in 2022. Right? So when I say you got to take advantage of the moment, it's because in this term, like take advantage of, sometimes I think it's taken out of context and has like a little bit of a bad taste to it, and it's not. I mean, when I mean take advantage of it, is pretty much like being ready for success, right? I think I told you a story here one time where we were so focused on weddings that we got a client, a high school senior client, that was pretty wealthy, and I was expecting like a big sale, a big IPS sale. We shot the senior. Everything went great. The session was wonderful. The pictures came out gorgeous. They loved the pictures, and they came in for the IPS. So what happened at IPS? We didn't sell more than, we sold like $2,000 worth of prints and things like that, and I was expecting way more than that. Okay, so what happened in there? So when they left, I went back to the numbers and like, why did you sell? We sold like $1,800 or $2,000, something like, was a small sale for the what we're expecting, for what we thought could be the potential, right? And I looked at it and said, why we sold just that? I mean, that's a small sale. I mean, they love the picture so much. I mean, we could have sold much more. What happened? Well, and I started thinking about it, and the more I thought about it, first thing that I do in these situations is I ask, where did I go wrong during the IPS, right? I always think I'm doing something wrong. And I went back to our conversations and started thinking about it. I couldn't figure it out, put my finger on what happened. Only the next day, that's when I figured out what happened. What happened was, we have been so focused on wedding market for so long that we didn't have high school senior products to sell. So when we went through the list of stuff that she bought everything that we had for high school senior, because we've been investing hard on wedding albums and big prints and all of that type of stuff that's wedding related that doesn't really resonate with seniors. I mean, they came here, they loved the pictures, they bought all the images, and they bought every single product that we had. So what does that mean? What does it tell me? That I wasn't ready for the success that I could have had if I was prepared. If I have a bunch of products to show, I would get a much bigger sale. So lesson learned. Let's invest on that now. All right. So this is what happens. What happens with photography is that the more you photograph, the better you get in photography. The more we need to look into the business side. Okay. And again, this could be a hobby for you. It's fine. There's nothing wrong in having a hobby. But for some of us, it's a business. For some of us, it's a way of making extra income, or is our main income revenue. Okay? So, and then we need to look at that as a business, as a business optics, right? As a businessman. So we run a business. We need to be probably 70% business person, 30% photographer. I personally have no desire to be a starving artist. No, I want to be a successful artist. I still want to create my art, but I want to be able to sell. But what happens when I don't know how to sell? What happens what's the point of having all of this great art here if I want to sell but I can't? I don't know how to do that, and that my business is going to fail. Because I don't have a steady plan. Why people don't stay? Why people don't book me? Why I get booked but I can't sell? That's a big thing. So going back to take advantage of the moment, we need to take advantage of this wave that's happening right now of people who want to get photographed. So stop thinking about photography as photography. What we're doing, we're creating memories for people, memories of moments that's not going to happen again ever. Right? So when you look through those lenses, it's different. So you start looking at photography in a different way. Okay? And as a business person, you need to be aware that you're going to go out, photograph, and you're going to come back and you're going to sell everything that you can sell. So you need to make extra money, because if you're doing like $300 sessions, that's not going to cut it. Right? But again, this is all tied up with success. What success means to you. What is success to you? Success is different for me, it's different for you, different for everybody. Right? For instance, success could be just buy a new car, using your photography money to buy a new car. That could be success to you. Or success could be my photography is going to pay for itself. That's a great goal. Right? That's a great milestone, because that's how I split my milestones. Right? I start photographing and I want to learn it, and then my second milestone was I'm going to get clients, and my third milestone was I'm going to photography will have to start paying for itself. And it took like 1 or 2 years, and photography was paying for itself with photography money. So doesn't matter what success looks like to you. And I will tell you what success looked like to me when I started. I started photography because I want to make extra income to be able to pay off my mortgage. That's what I wanted. That was success to me. I said, the day that I can pay off my mortgage with the photography money, that's what success represented to me. Well, that has happened already. Now I'm going after a different type of success, because when that happens, like, okay, what's next? For instance, I'm very goal-oriented. I need to have a direction where I'm going. I can't just do stuff here and there. I need to have a direction. That's the only way I keep focused and doing what I need to do. But it's not about me. This is just giving you guys examples of what success. Success doesn't mean having a lot of money all the time. It's nice to have a lot of money, but for some people, it's just not what it is, right? Okay, cool. So what we need to do to take advantage of this moment is to have our ducks in a row, to be prepared to happen. We don't want, remember the scenario that I just described of the high school senior who could have done a much bigger purchase and didn't do because I wasn't ready. I didn't have enough products to show at the time, so I wasn't ready for success, right? And this is what we need to do in order to move well in 2022. All right, so I made a lot of notes here. I'm going to read some of them because I don't want to miss anything. All right, so what success looks to you, and what I want you guys to think, because you have the Christmas break now, right? This is the time for you to stop and think, okay, what success looks like to me? What is success to me? If you have, and be honest and create an attainable success objective, right? Something that you can attain. Sometimes if it's like if it's a long term, split that in years. So first year, this is my milestone. Second year, this is my milestones, right? And to get there, don't try to do everything at once. You can't come here and tell me, oh, my goal is to make $1 million next year in photography when I'm making zero. No, it's not going to happen. But bottom line, it's not going to happen. So you need to be realistic. Okay? So this is your homework. Start thinking about what success looks like to you in 2022. It could be, oh, I'm going to move into weddings, right? I'm going to shoot like 2 weddings, 3 weddings. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you work towards that goal, because you need to have that direction. You can't just expect that things are going to happen, because they're not going to happen. Things just don't happen. You need to be prepared. Okay? and I have like a honey-do list for you. All right, so let's get into one. One of the things that I want you guys to think about during this Christmas break, during the holidays, is what's your niche? What do you want to be known for? We all shoot all kinds of stuff. I shoot weddings, I shoot high school seniors, I photograph families, we photograph events, right? These are the main things. But I'm known as a wedding photographer. And why am I known as a wedding photographer? Well, number one, because that's what I want to be known by. And also, everything that we have transpires wedding photography, right? Because that's what I want it to be. I want to be known as a wedding photographer. When I introduce myself, I do not introduce myself as a photographer. I introduce myself as a wedding photographer, right? It's the same thing of a doctor. Just think of a doctor, okay? If you are, let's say, if you break a hand and you need to have a hand operation, you're not going to go to any doctor. You're going to go to a doctor who is specialist on hands to do your operation. All right. So, and the same thing with your niche. You need to define your niche. Stop this nonsense of I shoot everything. If you shoot everything, you are great, good for you. But you know what? It's not going to work because people need to know you by one thing. But now, doesn't mean that you don't shoot everything else. But what I'm saying is that all your electronic, all your social media, your website, everything needs to be focused on what's your main line of service. My main line of service is weddings, but we also do high school senior, families, and blah, blah, blah. Right? The only thing that we don't do is newborn. But I'm known as a wedding photographer. If you go to my website, photosbyclay.com, homepage, it's all about weddings and engagement. And then a little bit towards the bottom, and by the way, we also do high school seniors, we also do portraits, we also do maternity. Here they are. But everything on that page, the first links, there's like a big like hero image carousel that keeps spinning. You're only going to find wedding images on that carousel, right? And there's like two links right below that. There's like wedding portfolio, engagement portfolio. As you read about it, everything's about weddings. And towards the bottom, we display other genres that we shoot, all right? Other line of service that we attend. But this is what works for me because I'm a wedding photographer. In your case, you could be a high school senior photographer. If you're a high school senior photographer, make your website high school senior, make your social media high school senior. All right. If you are a real estate photographer, make people look at when people look at your website, this is the question you should be asking yourself. When people look at my website, without me telling them, are they going to know that I'm a real estate photographer or a senior photographer or a newborn photographer? That's the question, because what I'm seeing over and over and over again is like people mixing up a lot of stuff and clients go there, and some niches are just, some line of services are just, you have to be specific. Like as a wedding photographer, I keep saying this over and over to brides, you cannot hire a guy with a good camera. You cannot hire a high school senior photographer to shoot your wedding. There's a lot of stuff that goes on a wedding day that only a wedding photographer knows, right? And this is going to be your differential. It's all about the experience. It's all about the bride and the groom, in this case of a wedding, knowing that you are a specialist, that anything that's going to happen, you're going to be able to handle and pivot and make the changes. So this is your first task. Make sure your social media and your website, everything is lined up. Let me touch a little bit on social media and website, because I asked a question here a few months back and I was really surprised with the answer. I asked in my stories, when potential clients ask you for your portfolio, do you send them to your website or you send them to your Instagram account? And I'll tell you, like 90% of people, or 85-90% of people said I send them to my Instagram. And I personally think that's a huge mistake. It's a huge mistake, because when you put all your eggs on Instagram and Facebook or any other of social media, You are playing on somebody's yard. They can change the rules at any time. They can go down. I mean, Instagram and Facebook went down for a few hours, like a whole day, not long ago. They can go down. They can change the rules. They can start doing just like paid stuff. Look how much Facebook and Instagram has changed since they started. So I think it's very dangerous for us to put our eggs into social media, using that as a portfolio. So what I do have social media. I do have Instagram. I do have Facebook, but I have my website. And when people ask to see my work, I send them to my website. Why is that? Because my website's lined up the way I want it to line up. The display is the way I want it. The language that's there is the way I write. That I say things that people want to hear. When you work on social media only, it gets a little bit tricky because social media will change the way they operate. And I mean, Facebook doesn't show your posts anymore. Facebook became a pay to play. Right? So if you want to play on Facebook, you have to pay. So that's pretty much pointless now. If you go, it's very hard to gain audience organically in social media nowadays. It's all about the money. It's all about promotions and boosting posts, right? But you have to be all over. You have to be on all of the social medias, right? And it's important. I mean, I don't know if you like it or if you don't like it, but it is what it is. You have to be on social media today. You go nowhere if you're not in social media. We are glued to those phones today. We get a lot of clients from Instagram, but we try to keep our Instagram rolling. Okay, so first task to you is line up your website, line up your Instagram, line up your Facebook with the same message, concise message, well explained stuff, clear language so people understand what they want and that type of stuff. So one thing that I can do for you, if you want me, send me your website. I can look at it and critique a little bit if find ways that it can get better. But I would really encourage you to spending time on your website, because I still think that's the most important part of your your electronic strategy, marketing strategy, right? So another thing that we need to learn how to do is learn how to talk to people. Learn how to talk to people. Photography is a relationship business. Have you ever thought about this? So photography is a relationship business. It's about people. So if you, and I know that some people don't agree with that, but if you agree with me that photography is a relationship business, hit that heart button there. Let's see some interaction going on. Let me see if you guys are awake or if I'm just like blah, 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 blah. So hit that heart button there if you agree that photography is a relationship business. Okay? So with that said, we need to learn how to talk to people. I'm start seeing the hearts going up. Come on. I know there are people who believe in it more. There you go. So let me tell you a little bit of a story. Learn how to talk to people, okay? Because this is important, right? So if you are one of those people, oh, you know what, I don't want to talk to anybody, I want to be a photographer, but I don't want to talk to anybody, I'm sorry, but this is probably not the business for you, okay? You're going to encounter clients that want to do everything online, not see you, just see you on the day of the shooting. That's fine, but that's the minority of them. That's like the outliers. Okay, most people want a relationship, and that's your job to create that relationship. And when I say like learn how to talk to people, learn how to ask questions, right? There you go. So yes, as a salesman, you know how important those relationships are, the word of mouth and that type of stuff. And the word of mouth is not only how beautiful your work is, because your work can be beautiful, but if you are an asshole, you're not going to get back, you're not going to get good referrals, because nobody wants to refer an asshole to their friends, right? You just need to be nice to people. And when I say learn how to talk to people, let me tell you a little story. I wrote down because it's a little bit long. So a man walks into a car dealer and is approached by the car salesman, and he goes, "Oh, I want to buy a Corvette." All right. And this guy goes to this Corvette. "Oh, look at this machine. It's very nice. It's beautiful. It's a chick magnet. Women go crazy about it. When you get into that car, it goes from 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. You know, you're going to be waving in and out of traffic, and women love that kind of stuff. And you can't put the top down, and, you know, and enjoy the wind, and you can wave in and out of traffic, blah blah blah." It went on and on how beautiful, how nice the car was, how fast it was, how many women he would get with their car, right? So the guy stops and starts thinking about it, and he goes like, "Well, I don't think I'm going to buy this car." And the salesman, surprised, thinking that he did a great job, and he said, "Why not? Why? What's wrong with the car?" And he's like, "Well, the car's not for me. The car's for my 16-year-old daughter. She's turning 16 now, and I want to give her a gift. I want to give her a Corvette as a car." Right? So where did the salesman went wrong on that one? He never really approached the person to learn about that person, learn why you're there, why you're here, who's this car for, right? Because if he had said that, if he had asked that question, he could list a bunch of stuff, but in a whole different way. The conversation could have gone something like this. This car has some... Exactly, he didn't listen. I mean, he didn't even ask. There was not a whole lot to listen because he didn't even ask. He just went there and said it, right? Yeah, too quick for the kill. But he could have turned that conversation around if he knew, if he had asked who that car's for, if you have ever owned a car like this, is a fast car, who is the car's for, the conversation could have gone very different. So, oh, this is something like this, for instance. I'm just like making it up here. This is a beautiful car, and it comes with it's a fast car, but it comes with a lot of safety features. And he could list all the safety features that's going to make her not only feel safe but be safe. And also, I mean, if she for some reason she drives into a neighborhood that's not very comfortable, she could put the top up, which is going to protect her a little bit more and make it easier for her, less distractions for her to get out of that a more difficult situation. So hopefully you can see how that conversation is still talking about the features of the car, but how the conversation goes extremely different, right? And this is because you need to ask questions. You need to ask and understand what the client needs are. Okay? And doing this, guys, is not intuitive to us. We all like talking about ourselves. One of the great exercises that I did many years back was to learn when to stop talking. Right? When I have a client sitting down here in our office, I ask questions because I'm really interested in learning about them, and I shut up. A conversation, like for instance, just to give you guys some context here, a bride and groom come to do a consultation with us, right? So we talk about a lot of stuff, and then at some point in the conversation, I may ask, so how long have you guys been together? And I shut up and I listen to it. And they say, blah, 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 blah. So how did you guys meet? And I said, and of course, it's not like boom, 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 question. There's some interaction, and then I work into my whatever I'm saying. How did you guys meet? I'm curious to learn, and I listen because I'm listening to hints, I'm listening to cues, I'm listening what they like, I'm listening because I want to put that back into the conversation again. People like talking about themselves, right? One of the things that I do a lot is I ask about the proposal. I not only ask about the proposal, because I mean, proposals, you get some really, really funny stories about the engagement proposal, right? How did he propose? Did he get down on a knee and stuff, and they say yes? So how did it go? And I shut up and I listen to it, right? And they go explaining, and there's some interaction between the couple. We're laughing, we're smiling, and let them talk. Let them talk and listen to it. And at the end of it, when they finish explaining how the proposal went, I ask the question, okay, this is the biggest question now. Did you cry when he proposed? Right? And depending on the answer, the interaction goes, oh my God, you didn't cry. What's happening? Women don't cry anymore. Or, oh, I did cry a lot, and then blah, blah, blah. I high-five the groom, good job, and we go from there. But you always listen. You're having that conversation, but you're listening to them, and you're giving them time to talk. What happens today, people don't have conversations anymore. People have this competition on who is either, you tell somebody like, oh, you know what, I have a headache. And somebody will come up on that conversation and own that they had a bigger headache than you did. I mean, we start watching your interactions with people. There's no conversation anymore, right? Nobody comes to you and say, how are you doing? And you say, oh, you know, I was a tough week, blah, 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 blah. And people, oh, man, I'm sorry about that. So what happened? And listen to you. Nowadays, like, oh, man, it was a tough week. I know, right? I worked so much last week, blah, blah, blah. It's all about us. No, when you're selling, when you're doing photography, when you're creating relationships, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the other person on the side. And this is not a sleaze technique to sell. No, it's just part of getting to know people, getting to like people. Okay? So learn how to talk to people. All right? Because once you learn how to talk to people, people are going to like you more. People are going to refer you more. The word of mouth. Okay? The word of mouth. Do you guys agree that word of mouth is the biggest or the greatest source of referral that you can get? If you do agree, hit the heart button there. Let me see how many of you agree that word of mouth is the greatest referral ever that you can get. Let me see how many of you agree with that. And if you don't agree, type there. Let's have a conversation about it. Okay? But I want to see how many of you agree that word of mouth is the greatest source of referrals. Good. So I'm seeing a lot of hearts going up. All right, cool. If it is, I'm going to pose you a question. What are you doing to get word of mouth referrals? Look inside your business. What kind of things are you doing to get people to refer you without you asking? Right? I mean, these are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves. So how am I doing this? Because we just assume you're doing it right. Okay? And a lot of times things don't go the way you want. We blame on the client, we blame on the weather, we blame the governor, we blame everything else but us. And you know what? Let me tell you this. If you get a client that left the house to come to talk to you in your office or in your studio, whatever you see people, there's no any other harder lead than that. And if that walks away from you, that's your problem. You made a mistake. There's nobody else's problem. Because that person is motivated. They left the house to come to meet with you. That's like perfect. If you let that person go without signing a contract, there's something wrong with your process. And I will tell you, don't think that I get 100% of the clients that walk to me. No, I don't. Sometimes I miss them. And every time that I miss one of them, I stop and say, where did I make a mistake? Where did the mistake go? And some people are just not a good fit. Okay, some people come here, and because we don't show price on our website, people think we want one price and we are a different price. That's fine. That's totally fine. I'm talking about people who are motivated and they come here and they ask the right question. You think you answered you gave the right answer, and they walk away without signing the contract. Happens to us, not too often, but it does happen. And when it happens, I always go back and say, where did I go wrong? What happened? Because there's no hotter lead. There's no more hot lead than somebody who left their home to come and talk to you. All right? We need to learn how to talk to people. We need to learn how to listen as a race. It's not really as a businessman, as human beings. We need to learn how to talk to people and learn how to listen to people. Okay? So another thing that we need to take care of for this year, so we are starting, get your portfolio ready. Get your portfolio ready. Get your portfolio ready. So if this is a great time to get your portfolio ready, so get your shoots, get your styled shoots, whatever you need to show work. Get your portfolio on your website, get your pictures on social media, and do me a favor, when you post things on social media, don't post 5, 6, 10 pictures. You do a photo shoot and you do post 10 pictures, and then it's going to be another week before you can do another one, right? Unless you have like a flow of work that's like every day, you have new stuff to post. Do not, if you shoot like once a week, once or twice a month, do not post like 10 pictures at once, because you're going to run out of material very fast. And one picture, tell a story about that picture and post it. Okay? Also, get your portfolio ready and get your prints ready. So you cannot sell things that you don't show. Nobody's going to buy an album. Oh, you have this beautiful album. It's 12 by 12. You know, it's soft cover. It's hard pages. It's seamless. So it's lay flat. What is it? If you don't have to show. If you don't have anything to show, you're not going to sell. And not last, I couldn't get to the end of it, but another one that I want to tell you is that, two more, quick. IPS, in-person sales. If you're not doing IPS, I don't know what to tell you, because there's one thing I'm going to tell you. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. Stop this nonsense to think that people don't buy prints, because people do buy prints. We sell a lot of them. I mean, I was talking to Jeff today. We got like a bunch of orders because Christmas is here, from our online gallery of people buying pictures of weddings that we shot like 6 months ago, because they want to give to their families. So this is like small, but it adds up. Right? So every day is something coming through. And do the IPS. Get your samples together. That's number one. And last but not least, invest on your education. Invest in your education. Education is everything. What's going to take your photography to the next level is not the next camera. It's not the next set of lenses. It's how you use the equipment that you have. Okay? So it's not having that full frame camera that's going to take a picture to the next level, because it will not. If you still don't know the rules of composition, if you still don't know how to light, if you still don't know how to pose and how to direct it, there's no camera that's going to take your photography to the next level. That's plain and simple, guys. Invest in your education. If you have $1,000 to buy a lens, or if you have $1,000 to go to a workshop, go to the damn workshop. Because there you're going to learn how to take a picture to the next level. The lenses, Okay? Invest in your education. And I think that's all for today. And I need to get out of here because I need to pick up Danny at work at 9 o'clock. It's 8:50 already. Again, I thank you so very much for listening to me. If you have questions about the topic tonight or anything photography, do not hesitate to send me a DM, all right? I love when I get questions on DM. I love talking to people. And do me a favor, if you can, please jump into YouTube, to our YouTube channel, Clay Souza Official, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we need a certain number of followers to be able to get like a proper URL on our channel. So at this point now, it's just like the bogus, long YouTube URL that we have, temporary URL. So we're getting there. We need a number of followers there to get. So I'd really appreciate if you guys could do that for us. Jump on YouTube, do a search for Clay Souza Official, and hit that subscribe button. And here, if you think this content was useful to you, share with a friend. Let's bring some more people over here, okay? This live is going to be posted in a few hours on our Instagram here at Clay Souza Official and in our YouTube channel. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support always. Love this group. We created a really solid, compact community, and if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. All right, thank you so very much, and I'll see you on Monday, 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time with Clay at Clay Souza Official. Bye.